You hear that sound? That is the sound of a holiday home update. I owe you an apology, only if you're someone who watched my last video, because in my last video I was shopping around LA and getting a bunch of home decor for my house, and at the end of the video I mentioned that next week I was gonna be doing a decorate with me for Christmas video, and here we are almost a month later and that has not happened. So let me explain to you why that is. When I filmed that video, I had just gotten back from a trip to the East Coast and I was honestly so jet lagged. I was dealing with really weird sleep issues, which I normally never have. And then after that happened, I got sick. And then after that happened, actually while that was happening, my roommate of 5.5-ish years actually moved out. To be honest, a lot of you guys might not have even been aware that I had a roommate because I don't think I've ever mentioned her in my content, but I live alone now. I've got the whole place to myself. So in the past few weeks of me being here by myself and laying low and recovering from being jet lagged, being sick, and being sad because my roommate left, I have done quite a bit to my apartment from like a decor perspective, but also did a little bit of painting. We're gonna get into that in just a minute. I'm really excited to show you guys what all I've done, some new pieces I've picked up, and the way that I decorated for Christmas. But before we do that, consider hitting the like button and the subscribe button. And if you don't follow me already on Instagram and TikTok and Pinterest, please consider connecting with me there. So without further ado, let's get into my December home update. Starting off with the living room, this is the area we have the most to cover. And I want to start with my fireplace mantle, which if you follow me on Instagram and TikTok, you have already seen. I painted it. I normally play it relatively safe with a lot of my design choices just because when you're, learning, it's good to make mistakes when you're learning, but I went bold with this and I'm really excited to show you guys, but also kind of nervous because a lot of the people in the comments on Instagram and TikTok have been very polarized on whether or not they like it. Also, do you like my camera setup? I'm literally using my tripod like a selfie stick. So yeah, my fireplace. She's very red, but very appropriate for the season. Let me turn you guys around and give you the details. Okay guys, here is the mantle, and don't worry, I'm gonna give you guys all the details on my garland and my other little Christmas bits. You can also see my tree peeking through in the background. I'm so excited to show you all of that. So I decided to go for a color that I felt like would contrast this yellow tile nicely. And my fireplace mantle before was white, but I just wanted to do something that felt kind of like a statement. And the color that I chose is Cherry Cola. It's from Bear. I would say the color is pretty close to what it is on the card. It honestly is like a little more pigmented in person, but I really just love the drama of this color and how it brings out all the details in my mantle. There were a few other color options I was considering. One of them is this really pretty green. It's called Vine Leaf. Another one is Chilled Wine from Bear, which I didn't go with because the two yellow tones might have just been weird, but I love this color. I actually found this watching Paige Wassell's content, and I might paint some part of my apartment that color. I'm not gonna lie, I love picking paint colors, not just on the color, but also the name. And if you know me, you know I love coffee so much. This one is called Espresso Beans, and I actually did buy a container of it somewhere. It's one of these two containers. I think it's this one. I think whenever the season's over, I might paint it that brown color because it can be very pretty. But yeah, what do we think? At first it was such a trust the process type thing, and even after the process was done, I really was questioning myself, but as I've kind of settled into it, I really do love the color. It's a really beautiful shade of red. I also switched out my mantle mirror. This is one my roommate left behind that I don't know if she's selling it or what the deal is, but I was like, I'm just gonna put that over the mantle in the meantime. Yeah, let me give you the details on the decor elements on my mantle. All right, so for our garland, this is from Crate & Barrel. I'm not gonna lie, I wanted real garland, but places only just now started selling real garland, and because I was filming other content and because I bought a bunch of stuff with the intention of filming like a whole holiday decor video like a couple weeks ago, no garland that was real was out yet. So I ended up just grabbing this from Crate & Barrel, and let me see if I can get in and show you guys the detail. I mean, it looks pretty real. I'm normally not a fan of any fake greenery at all, but it looks pretty good. I will say it was so expensive. Like one piece was, I think I saw the tag on actually. I want to say one piece was like $120 and I got two, so it's just so expensive. But I mean, it's fake, so hopefully it'll last a while. I also got a wreath from Crate & Barrel, which is made out of the same material. This is it here. I don't know why those were all bent out of shape like that, but it's really beautiful, but it's just very, very large. Like I can't even fit this in the whole frame. I got it with the intention of putting it on my front door, but as I was thinking about leaving it out there, I was like, wait, if someone wanted to steal this, they totally could. And that also was like $150 or something. Like the faux items from Crate & Barrel are just so expensive, but once again, there was like no real garland or wreaths or trees available when I picked that stuff up. So I think because I'm just fearful of someone stealing it, I'm probably not gonna put it on my front door, so I'm not 100% sure where else in my apartment it would make sense. But if you have any ideas after watching this video, comment and let me know. So this little chair situation, the chair is antique and it's from Atelier 13. I will try to link all of the sources to like everything in the description box, but my friend Andrew, he is like part owner or like works with that brand. So really cool, like local LA business that sells really interesting home items. And the bell garland that is just kind of draped across, that is from World Market, and I got two of them and just tied them together. The three candlesticks are from Olive Atelier, and yeah, I think that's the mantle. Moving right along, we have my living room bar cabinet. This particular angle is like one of my favorites in my whole apartment, and like the way the light comes through and just the wood pattern on the front of this cabinet just looks so nice. I have this picture that I found to add a little bit of that like antique silver look to the environment and break up some of the other colors and materials. I found this at the thrift store for like $8, I think. And then under it is a little green marble tray. I wanted to put something under there for if I throw like a holiday party and there's something cold in that, like with condensation, that little green marble tray can catch all that. Then I have just some standard glassware from Crate & Barrel. I don't remember how much these were, but these are good for year round, but they just kind of gave like classic bar holiday vibes. Does that even make sense? I don't know. But yeah, super simple setup here. This lamp is from Coco Republic and just looks really cool also for holiday. It's like, obviously with it being white, it's like super structural. And then behind are these beautiful black and white photos that I picked up at an estate sale of people skiing. Then down here, I picked up this Norman Rockwell book at Goodwill. And there's actually a little holiday part in it. I love using books as decor elements or like artwork. I feel like it adds so much visual interest to a space and also gives your home that sort of like lived in look, like someone's actually hanging out doing something in the space. So yeah, that's the bar area. Moving along to my favorite part, which is my Christmas tree. This is like the absolute most cozy my apartment has ever looked. There's a lot of details to give about the whole thing, so let's get into it. First things first, I went with a faux tree this year. I got mine from Balsam Hill. They were so kind to actually gift it to me. I have always wanted one of their trees, but if you're familiar with Balsam Hill, their products are quite an investment. However, I have never seen a faux tree that just reads so real to the human eye. I posted a couple videos on social media talking about the tree and just the experience of building it, and honestly, like they include storage bags, they include gloves for setup. The tree that I got has this special function where you can control the lights with your phone. One second, let me grab my phone, I'm gonna show you. So here is the app. As you can see, my tree is like the current brightness it is, but I can just go here and turn it up. My tree just got a little bit brighter. I can turn it off. And then I also, there's like different effects too. This is one that I have that's called Sparkles, and it's like a very subtle, I don't even know if you guys can see that on camera. It's like a very subtle like twinkling effect. But then there's like so many other things you can do. Like, why is it like easier to tell? You can do that, you can do that. I feel like because it's daylight, you can't see it as well. It's just so fun. I would have died when I was a kid if my parents got this tree. Even when I was little, I was just obsessed with making our home feel so cozy and special for the holidays. But most of the time I leave it on just like the standard color, like the warm LED Christmas lights. Honestly, a lot of the ornaments on the tree are also from Balsam Hill. These here, these red ones here, these snowflake ones are from Balsam Hill. Some of these other ones are from CB2. And then I went to a few other stores and just got little fun ornaments like this. These are from a shop called Terrain. I got a couple moons and some stars. They're like this really cool antique glass. And then I also picked up these really cool mid-century homes that glow from West Elm. Look at how cool those are. I got a green one and I got this red one here. For the little bows that I put all over the tree, those are just made with some velvet ribbon I picked up on Amazon. I hand tied each one, and yeah, people say it looks kind of like pasta. That's fine, I don't mind that. My tree collar is from Balsam Hill as well. This is the Capiz tree collar, and it's this really beautiful, like iridescent diamond metal oystery looking material. It is so pretty, and I get the most compliments on social media about that tree collar specifically. And then lastly, our star is also from Balsam Hill. I don't know, my whole vibe this year kind of gives like traditional warm Christmas, and I love that because Christmas is supposed to be warm and cozy, I think. So yeah, moving along. For my media console and my coffee table, I don't really have a ton of details to give here. None of this is like really specific to holiday. I mean, this candle here, just like a red pillar candle from Target that has like a sort of like spiced cinnamon clove kind of smell to it. It's very subtle, but having the red color just makes a nice pop over here. And then one of my favorite things on my console is my nutcracker. When I lived back on the East Coast with family, I would get a nutcracker once a year, every Christmas. So I have quite the collection back home. And I remember being really little and just always wanting a Steinbach nutcracker, but most of them run $100+. And as like a little kid, my parents were like, he doesn't need that. So I would get other nutcrackers, which were also nice, but just a funny full circle moment because Steinbach reached out to me to send me a nutcracker, and my inner child was so happy when I got that email. I was like, yes, please. You don't understand how much little Ethan would have loved this. I mean, adult Ethan still loves it, but yeah, all these years later, and I got my Steinbach nutcracker. Yeah, I really love him. He just chills and drinks his beer and lives his life with his little Christmas outfit on. I actually don't know what that says or what that means, but I'm hoping it's something good and happy and holiday. So you guys, that is my living room for Christmas. There are a couple other Christmas items in the house that we'll get to in a little bit, but aside from everything else on display in here, I have a couple other little things I want to show you real quick. So let me show those to you now. Okay, so this here is actually a tree skirt. It is from a brand called Ginger Ray, and I found this online when just trying to look for inspiration for my tree and thought it looked so cool. I had never seen a paper tree skirt before. So I bought it just to test out and see how it would look, and I uploaded a video of me trying it on my other social channels, and people really loved the way that it looked. This is how it expands, and basically you would just like wrap this around your tree, and I really do like the way that it looks. However, it just read a little small on my tree. Figured that I would save this and use it for either a secondary tree or maybe use it next year. I'm gonna put footage on screen of what this looked like on my tree so you can check it out. A lot of people were commenting that it kind of gave like Shakespearean vibes, or made my tree kind of look like a clown or a jester or something like that. So, you know, I bought it because it's playful and fun. And if that's your vibe, you should definitely check this out because it's $20, super unique. Not trying to be that person, but outside of me, like I don't think I've seen anyone else post this. So if you want an affordable and really cool looking option for your tree, this paper collar tree skirt might be a great option for you. I also recently picked up these candles from a brand called Carrier Frais. I think is how you pronounce it. I could be butchering that, Carrier Frais. If anyone's French speaking and could help me out, please do so in the comments. But anyway, I picked up these two candles from them because I am a big fan of Trudon. They are one of the most prestigious and long-running fragrance brands, and I believe this is a sister company of theirs. I just got these, so I haven't even had a chance to burn them yet, but This smells so good. Just smells like waking up in a cabin on Christmas morning with a fire burning in the living room and the warmth of that fire causing the oils of the Christmas tree to just like emit through the home. I'm literally about to light that in just a second. And then the other one I got is pretty similar, but it's Siberian pine and candied ginger. So with that ginger, this one definitely reads a little more spicy. Ugh, they're both so good. Let's actually light the Siberian pine and smoked wood one. This rechargeable USB lighter. It is my favorite thing. I'm gonna go set this down and we're gonna let her burn in my home. For our next thing, I actually wanted to show you my first home pickup from Zara Home. I got 2 stools and 2 picture frames. Okay, you might have seen this earlier because it was under my Christmas tree, but here is one of the stools I got. I feel like having a stool like this is nice because you can do so many things with it. You could put a plant on top of it. You could stack a few books. It just adds visual interest in the areas that need it. Throw a stool down, put a candle on it, some books, a plant, or in the case of how I'm using it, you can put it by your Christmas tree and set a gift on top. This was $50. Construction feels really solid. Yeah, highly recommend it. For our other Zara Home item, it's over here. I got this stool, which at first I didn't really love because the wood tone is like a little bit more cool toned in person. I don't know on camera how it's reading. I really think just depending on the color temperature, it's gonna look different. And it was also $50. I actually have this in my dining room sitting on the floor and put this plant pot on top with some little dried up dead flowers in it. This plant pot is so cool. It is handmade and I found it at Goodwill for like a couple dollars. Now I'm gonna show you the picture frames. If my apartment needs one thing, it is photos and artwork. I'm trying to show this in a way that doesn't reflect, but I thought these picture frames were really cool. They've got a metal frame and I got this square one and also this 8x10. I don't know where I'm gonna put these, but my little sister Ellie is an artist, so when I go home for the holidays, I'm probably gonna commission her to make some artwork to go in these. If she does that, I will frame them and show you guys what these look like, and also wherever I end up hanging them. Okay, that is everything in the living room. Let's move on to the dining room and the kitchen so I can show you the last few little details of things, and then yeah, I think we'll be done after that. Okay, let's go. Before we leave my living room, I forgot to show you, I put this really cute bell wreath just around my doorknob. That way every time I come into my apartment or leave my apartment, it jingles. And yeah, it's just like a nice little additional holiday touch over on the opposite side of my living room. So coming through the hallway, we have this really beautiful wreath from Crate & Barrel. It's like a berry and twig type situation, but I really love that it adds a pop of color to this cutout in the hallway. In this in-between area from my living room to my dining room, there's this candle wall sconce from World Market. I've talked about this in other videos, but one way you can add like a really easy holiday touch for not just Christmas, but also Halloween or whatever other holiday you're celebrating, just swap your candles out for one that's colored according to the seasons. And then I tied this really beautiful ribbon around it to add a little extra color and texture to this area. This ribbon is actually from Lone Fox Home. My friend Drew is Lone Fox. I'm sure if you're watching my content, you are probably well aware of who Lone Fox is. He's like one of the biggest creators in the home space, but I picked this up from his shop. I don't remember exactly how much the bundle was, but you get so much fabric that you can use across all of your apartment. You can use it to make bows like this, or even to wrap presents with. You can make your own garland with it. But in the case of how I used it, I think it just looks really nice like this. Okay, moving right along to my dining room. First thing I want to show you guys is the bar cabinet. I have not only hung a mirror, but I also added a Christmas wreath. This one is real, it is not faux. I just picked this up the other day from Whole Foods and it smells so amazing. Let's actually go a little closer so I can show you these details up close. I feel like 90% of this video is me just showing you a variety of different candles and candlestick holders, but I don't know what to say. It's just, I keep them all over the house because I love the warmth of candle light. So these are from Anthropology and I featured them in my last video where I went Christmas shopping. The green candles that are inside are from World Market. Here is an up close shot of my wreath. She's so cute. And then everything else in my dining room is pretty much the same. There is that wooden Christmas tree that I picked up from Home Goods. That's where it ended up landing in my apartment. I'm probably gonna add greenery to the table just to kind of pull the color green into the space. space and make it look nicer for when I have friends over. Moving from the dining room, we're gonna go into the kitchen because there are quite a few updates in here I am very excited to show you. Okay, so in the kitchen, the first thing we have going on is this runner that I picked up from Schoolhouse, and it just adds so much character to my kitchen, which otherwise is like very white and gray because of the countertops. This rug just gives so much warmth and really pulls in a lot of the greens that kind of exist around the other parts of my kitchen. Arguably my favorite thing I picked up all season long is these salt and pepper snowman grinders. They really are so cute. I haven't actually put salt or pepper in them despite the fact that I do cook a lot. I just honestly need to figure out like the proper way to put salt and pepper in there. But yeah, really love those. I picked those up from Crate & Barrel. Definitely one of my favorite finds of the season. Next up is my new coffee maker, which is from a brand called Technivorm. It is the Mocha Master, and I actually have another Mocha Master, but it's the version that doesn't have the hot plate at the bottom. And when I make coffee in the morning, which by the way, this is what I have been making, I look forward to their holiday blend every year. Anyways, when I make coffee in the morning, I drink it pretty quickly. Like I could make a whole pot and probably be finished in like 20 to 30 minutes. So yeah, this one wasn't as ideal. And also my kitchen's already so gray and this one is like metal. And I love how this is sort of like a cream off-white. If you're gonna buy a coffee machine, get a Mocha Master. It's basically just like a automatic drip coffee maker, and drip coffee at home is the best kind of coffee in my opinion. So I mentioned that I got this rug from Schoolhouse, but I also picked up this little wall hook, and I think I want this to go here just to have something to put a dish towel on. And because I have these really cool dish towels from Williams-Sonoma, I think that could work there. You know what, let's just go ahead and hang this up. That is it for kitchen updates. For our final apartment update, I wanted to let you guys know that I am moving. Bedrooms, that is. So this is my current bedroom. With my roommate having moved out and me living alone, I am gonna take her old bedroom. She's actually always had the bigger of the two bedrooms in this apartment, but that's mainly because I originally wanted this room because it had this like cutout vanity section. And honestly, after being in this room for over 2 years, I have not ever once actually used that vanity for something that like makes it worth having the smaller of the two bedrooms for. So I'd much more prefer to have more space. And she also has a walk-in closet. It's not super big, but you can actually walk inside of it, whereas my room just has two little non-walk-in closets. Now we're gonna check out the room I'm moving into. All right, new room reveal in 3, 2. Okay, it's kind of messy. There's just things that she wasn't able to take with her, and also some of my stuff that's found its way in here, but here is the room. I don't know if you guys can tell how much larger it is from the other one, but basically my door's here and this door's here. So there's like that much more space, which seems small, but it actually does make a big difference. Like when you're in here, the room does feel so much larger, and the closet is right here. So yeah, this is my next bedroom. It's so weird being in my home and not having a roommate here. I am so excited for her and her next chapter, and also really excited for this new chapter in my life as well. But it's definitely been an adjustment. Just like having the whole space to myself and trying to kind of fill my home with a sense of life, just because there like used to be another person here, so it always felt like there was like energy flowing throughout it. And so now I'm kind of like having to really cultivate that energy myself, which has been interesting, but also I think long term will be better for me. But yeah, this year has just been filled with new chapters and new experiences, and many of which have been very uncomfortable but necessary in my life for growth. So yeah, I think that concludes today's video. I hope you enjoyed checking out all of the things I got, the way that I styled everything, and you know, if I forgot to talk about any details or I left something out, please comment and let me know, and I'll be sure to answer any questions you have. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this video, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye guys.